It's important when you're playing any drum to make sure you're sitting straight up, relaxed with your shoulders down. The drum is held essentially clamped between your wrist and your knee, and you can control it or play with it just by moving your wrist. Make sure that the drum head is angled towards your midline so that your forearm is parallel to the surface of the drum's head. If you look at the pads at the base of your fingers, those pads at the base of your fingers on your hand that is on top of the drum will want to be right on the edge. Your fingers will fold over the top, and if you rotate your hand on the pinky side, you'll be looking directly at the palm of your hand. Reviewing again the same principles, now seated on the floor, making sure the drum is pointed towards my midline, controlling it by my wrist. Notice you don't want it facing away from your midline where you have to reach around, or sitting in the middle of your lap where you have to reach around it. You don't have as much control. Right there on your knee facing your midline. Being able to look at the palm of your hand, and then you're ready to strike the drum. Let's look briefly at a larger drum and how you hold that the same way. Again, midline facing towards your midline so your forearm is parallel to the surface of the drum. Again, holding it with the wrist. And if you look from the back, you can see that my arm is relaxed and my elbow is down. It just hangs over the top. The striking surface that you use on your fingers is the bony protuberance just above the lines. On your ring finger sometimes, on your middle finger sometimes, and sometimes both of them together. On your thumb hand, it's the bony protuberance on the side of your thumb, and again, on that hand you use the ring finger just above the line and the middle finger above the line, or sometimes both of them together. Basic frame drumming involves keeping track of 3 different notes, 1 low note and 2 high notes. The low note is doom, and the high notes are tek and ka. They're played on the rim. The low note is played about halfway to the center of the drum. Do not be confused. Some players will insist that the upper hand is ka and the lower hand is tek. That's fine. I think it's most accurate to say that the syllable we use does not determine which hand we play with for tek and ka. There's too much variation. Looking more closely at tek, or ka if you prefer, I open my hand and rotate my ring finger into the rim of the drum, the very edge of the drum. Using my wrist to rotate, now using my middle finger to do the same thing. Here's a close-up, first locating exactly where my hand should be against the edge of the drum. Now notice using my ring finger, my fingers open up and my wrist rotates so that my ring finger strikes the rim of the drum. Now using my middle finger to do the same thing. Emphasizing that you need to hit the rim and that you don't want to hit beyond the rim unless you're making a choice to make a lower sound or to use a subtlety of the sound of the drum. And here's the same move from a different perspective. The sound doom is produced by striking about halfway into the center. Notice I place my palm up as if something wonderful is going to fall into it, and I rotate my wrist so that my thumb strikes about 1/2 of the way into the center of the drum. Looking from another perspective, you can see that my thumb stops as soon as it hits the drum and bounces off. Making the sound ka, or tek if you prefer, my palm faces downwards and I rotate with my ring finger into the rim or shell of the drum. Again, rotating with my wrist. Now putting these together, thumb for doom, ka. Doom, palm downwards, ka. Palm upwards, doom, palm downwards, ka. This becomes a beautiful movement, the movement of the lemniscate. we put these together, doom, ka, tek, ka, doom, ka, tek, ka, we have all the basic notes for playing the beginnings of rhythm on the frame drum.